Well, today, thought I'd just say a little bit about kids and raising up kids. Bible tells us to train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he won't depart from it. Now, a lot of people take that to mean that the child is never going to leave the Lord, and that's not what God is saying. We're giving these children the basics of life, the basics. Train them up to be responsible. Train them up to be respectful of themselves and respectful to others. And then to teach them how important it is, the family name is so important. And I think many times kids grow up and they forget about the fact that they are representing a family as you're growing up. The Bible says that a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. Now that shows you how much you're supposed to think of your family name. I remember when we get ready to go someplace, my mama would always say, don't go out here acting a fool. Remember the family name. Don't shame the family name. She reminded us that we were Moors and that we should carry that name with pride. But we're in a generation of children and young people, and even some of the older people now, who feel like, I don't care what my parents say. I'm grown. I do what I want to do. But you have to remember, when your parents are teaching you as you're growing up, they are teaching you for a purpose, that your life might be more enhanced as you grow older, and that things might go better for you. When your parents teach you how to clean up your room, when they teach you how to take responsibility as far as helping to keep the house clean, they're training you for the world that you're coming into. They're training you to be team players. When you go on a job, you have to be a team player. So you've learned at home with the brothers and sisters, working along with them, you learn how to be a team player, so that when you walk out into the world, you're able to work with other people and do your part. You don't lag behind, want somebody else to carry the load, because that's not a part of society. Society wants everybody to step up. At least that's the way it used to be. Step up and be responsible. But we have a generation of children, a generation of young folks who feel like they are entitled to things to come to them and that they don't have to work for it. And then we're allowing these children and the grandchildren to have this attitude. We're harming them in such a horrible way, because life is not going to hand you anything. You're going to have to work for it. So it bothers me when I think of my children and I think of their children and then the children to come, if they have not carried on the teachings of responsibility, the teachings of accepting the blame for what you have done instead of trying to cast the blame on somebody else. When I think of that, it scares me for generations that's coming on, because they're not learning to be people of integrity. They're not learning to realize the world owes me nothing. I must work for what I get, and I must rely upon God to help me through what I have to go through to get where I want to go. And the Bible tells us, don't strive to be rich. Because sometimes when people get rich, they forget all about God. They think they're self-sufficient. And it only takes one breath. It only takes one swipe from the hand of God to wipe out everything that they have. You can be living on top of this big hill with a big fancy house and big fine cars parked in the driveway, and one shake of God's hand for the earth, an earthquake can wipe it all out for you. And you start back down here where people that you have neglected to watch out for and to help, those are the ones that might have to come to your rescue. And so we want to remember, when we train our children, train them in the proper manner. Teach them to be respectful. Don't let your children talk to you any kind of way. Don't you become the child and they become the adult. Don't give in to what your children want you to give in to. Somebody has to stand in the gap and pray. And we as parents need to be those ones, and grandparents. See, my shirt say I was mom and now I'm grandma. We have to continue to be that person who's going to be there to teach these young people. And when they get older, we're hoping that all this teaching has not been in vain. and they let it go to the wayside. Thank you so much.